Happy Wednesday and welcome to another episode of Herspiration Happy Hour. Ladies, are you ready for some cocktails and conversation?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, let's go ahead and get it started.
Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? With your host, the unapologetic diva, Dr. G, the girlfriend therapist, Dr. Cortina Lewis, the Blue Phoenix Heels, Louisa Harrell, and the networking extraordinaire, Diana Richardson Philippus. Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? This is Herspiration Happy Hour.
It's Wednesday. This is your unapologetic diva, Dr. G.
This is Dr. Cortina Lewis, aka the girlfriend therapist.
And I am your coach of courage, Chavez D. Walker.
Yes, and Diana is not with us today. She's feeling a little bit under the weather. And then, Louisa will be joining us shortly. How's this week been so far, other than very long? I feel like that's a running theme right now.
I feel like it was just Wednesday.
You feel like it was just Wednesday? It is Wednesday.
No, I mean like last week Wednesday.
Oh gosh. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but I'm back home from being on the road. So I'm trying to like get back in the rhythm of just catching up from doing all that driving and being between Huntsville and Savannah and Atlanta and Huntsville and back down to Savannah. Then I went to Nashville and came back to Huntsville. It's been a lot, but it's okay. I'm catching up. I feel like my body is catching up on rest.
Probably needs to.
So yeah. What about you, Miss Shay? What's going on in your world today?
This has been a week of grace, so I'm just basking in it.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
You've had 2 good weeks. You was like floating last
day. Yeah. Last week was my courageous week. Like this week I'm operating in my grace week. So yeah.
Okay. Well, no, that's a good thing to operate in your grace. I probably don't give myself enough grace.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my thing. I'm so super hard on myself, and I'm probably my own worst critic. But it's okay, you live and you learn through things, and you kind of. I think I'm resilient in that aspect, but I mean, eventually. It does kind of wear when you're kind of trying to stretch yourself thin. And I continue to go back to try to have my soft life that I've been trying to adopt all summer. I was doing good. And then it's like, I lost some time. Like, where'd the time fly? I looked up and yesterday was what, October 24th?
24th, yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, it's getting real. Everything is starting fast. I don't have a ton of stuff to do, but I still have quite a bit to do. So between working and, wedding planning and honeymoon planning and just getting a lot of stuff together, it's
a lot.
But on a good note, I not only picked my dress up, I dropped it off for alterations too. So I get my dress back December 6th.
How much did you end up having to spend for alterations? Because alterations are astronomical.
Well, the good thing about my dress is that the fit was perfect. I'm gonna need some tape to make sure I stay tucked in it. But it only the alterations, which you know what? Sometimes here's one of the things I did learn about having alterations done. My dress had more layers than what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started lifting it and lifting. I'm like, wait a minute, where the hell did all these layers come from? I'm like, I don't know if this is the same dress that I tried on the first time because I could have swore it was just 2 layers. But even with all of those layers, it's probably about 6 layers in my dress. Oh. It only cost like $415.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. That's not bad at all for
not for what,
Not at all. But I'm excited. I'm excited to put it on. And then outside of that, I think I've been trying to downsize. I feel like I've been trying to downsize since the spring. And I have, it's just hadn't gone nowhere yet. I'm still sitting in my room. And I said I was going to call the what is it, the Purple Heart people or something like that, to come and pick up all of these clothes and shoes and stuff that I'm giving away. And as I'm sitting here and I was sharing with Shay before the podcast started, I'm doing laundry. And I think when you wash your bleach or you wash clothes repetitively, especially towels, for some reason, towels and washcloths tend to wear and tear a little more. And I think to myself, as I was folding it, why am I folding this? Why am I not just throwing this out? Which made me just realize, like, why do we feel so compelled to just hold on to things? I mean, from raggedy clothes to, I mean, we always say, well, we could just, I'll wash the car in this, or I'll go do this in it, or we make excuses to hold on to things. And Shay, share what you just shared, because that was like behind the scenes, because wow.
So I bought this dress from a Marshall's or a TJ Maxx.
That's not what I was talking about. But
which part?
No,
which
go
part? The shoes?
Yes,
the shoes.
But go with
dress.
Both.
Okay, so the dress is what took me out, because I'm like, wow, this dress is 6 years old. It's still in the bag, got the tags on it, $20, beautiful dress. And I was like, oh, I can wear that to the wedding. And I went to try to put it on, and it didn't quite fit. So I've been intentional about, eating right and trying to get some weight off. I've lost some weight, feeling real good about this. Scrubs not tight, like this. Got a little room. But the dress is 6 years old. I bought this dress 6 years ago. The receipt is still in the bag, and it was 6 years old. Anyway, but all the shoes, 275 pairs of shoes went away Sunday.
You only have 2 feet.
Yeah.
Cortina, why you down there? How many
I
pairs?
got like a million personalities that go with these outfits and these shoes. Like, just saying.
A lot.
And you still said you have over 100, Shay.
Oh, yeah, it's still well over. No, it's still well over. I know 200 pairs of shoes still left. Yeah. I had to stop, because I'm like, I'm gonna wear these in 5 years with that outfit that I'm gonna find when I go somewhere to find it.
Not in 5 years, though.
Yeah.
Now, so let me play a little devil's advocate, even with myself. So when I was gone, I went to the Maxwell concert. That's when I first left. Like a week after I left, I went to see Maxwell, and we and all of that. And so the unique thing was that I had a dress that Jay bought me 10 years ago, and I put it on, and just what I wore to the concert. 10 years. And I don't think I probably can count on one hand how many times I've actually worn that dress. But it is still in my closet, and I don't think I will part with that one, because one, I can still fit it. And everybody needs that little black dress. I think that's my reason. That's my rationale for keeping it.
I had a dress in my closet that I had before Morgan was born.
Oh.
Do
you still have it?
I do. It's in my closet.
Okay.
I do. It's black and beige. I'll show it to you when you come. I just gave away when we moved, because my closet in the new house is smaller than the closet at our old house. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Because I had clothes in Morgan's room. I had clothes in the guest room. It was absolutely ridiculous. And so I gave away about 13 bags of clothes.
Oh,
gosh. A lot of them had tags on them. I just never wore it. I see stuff. I like it. I don't like trying on clothes. So I just buy it. And if it don't fit, it don't fit, because I don't feel like it. And then with the shoes, I have my closet full, and the guest closet is full of shoes. It's all shoes on the inside. I got rid of like 150 pair of shoes, and I still have 2 closets full of shoes here at the new house. You'll see them when you come. Shoes used to be my thing. I didn't care about bags. I didn't care about clothes. Shoes were my thing. I have one shoe. I have it in 6 different colors, the same shoe. If I like a shoe, I like it. And I want it in all the colors because I love the shoe.
Wow. No, I used to be, see, that was me. I love shoes, never cared for handbags, but I loved shoes and I loved clothes. So for me, I never really thought about like, oh, let me part with my shoes. And then it's not like my feet grow. We're a 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst part is I've actually gotten rid of shoes only to buy them again.
Listen, every time Cortina opens her mouth, I swear we get closer and closer because listen, I'm like, girl, talk for me. Do it. Just do it. Whatever you're going to say, that's what I'm saying. Like, same shoe. This, I can't, like, right now. This shoe from Aldo, this pump, so comfortable, so cute. Mm-hmm. I got it in 10 different colors, and I've actually bought 4 of the colors over 3 times because those pumps are my go-to when I'm on a move and I need my feet to be comfortable, but I need to look a certain way. Like that's my go-to pump. That's my 10-hour pump. That's what your pumps got hours, right? You know, the ones that's gonna last an hour, the ones that's gonna give you 4 hours, and the ones that's gonna barely get you there. Like you just know it, yeah. And so those are my 10-hour pumps, and I got them in every different color, and I've bought them over and over and over again. Yeah.
That's what you gotta do, find that shoe.
Yeah. And I'm unapologetic about that. So
yeah, I just know like that's my advice. People have their, their stuff that they like. I was and most of my shoes used to be like 5.5, 6-inch heels. I used to wear those to work every day, everything. And I just love heels. Now, I'm a little bit more comfortable. But I still, if I'm going out, I'm going to wear a heel. So
I love my heels. I used to say my office was my runway because I was not going to be caught dead, like not dressed to the nines. Shoes matched everything.
That's right.
But now I've gotten so comfortable that a pair of sweatpants and pajamas have become my daily. I don't feel like I don't need to dress up as much. So I downsized my closet. I did good. I went from having 4 walls of custom made closets down to 2 walls of my custom closet.
That's good. You said something about handbags. Like that was never my thing. It actually wasn't until I met Alton, our first year of marriage, that I struggled, and I do not understand why. I do understand, but I struggled to buy an expensive handbag. I struggled. It was a struggle. And when I say expensive, I'm talking about the handbag was $400. It was a Dooney and Burke. If I'm going to spend that kind of money, it's going to be something that's going to last forever. And, Dooney will last a lifetime. I'm sure my granddaughters, great-granddaughters could end up with that bag and it still be in great condition. But I did not spend the first, that kind of money on a handbag until just 4 years ago, because that was but a pair of shoes, I got some shoes in there right now. See, here we go. Brand new, still in the plastic. Bought them in Miami over 9 years ago, and I have never even put them on my feet. I tried to let them go when I sent the other shoes away, and I couldn't. They were like, no. So they're still here, and I'm a 7, and I one day maybe I don't know. But.
So I lied earlier when I said I had a dress. I didn't necessarily lie. I was thinking maybe the dress was 1 year older than Morgan. I was a sophomore in college. I just sent you a picture of the dress. I will show you the dress when you get here.
Okay.
Wow.
It's what I have on. I still have that dress in my closet. I will not let it go. I love this dress.
Okay.
Hi, Lisa.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, we're talking
Hi,
about
ladies. That is too funny.
We're talking about decluttering and why we don't let things go. I mean, and I think that can be that can be taken so many different ways. But for us right now, we're just talking downsizing shoes and clothes and whatnot. Because it's hard. It for some reason for me, have you ever like had stuff in a bag and then you're getting dressed and you realize, damn, this will look good with that?
Yep.
And I actually have dumped out an entire bag of clothes just to get to the look for something that I felt like was going to go with it, and then it comes magically out of the bag, and so it's back in there right now. But again, I've downsized and I've not gotten rid of it yet. It's not out the house, so it's just in a bag on the floor in my wardrobe room.
Wait a minute. When I was just talking, was I on mute?
No.
You all heard me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
About your dress.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I would. Sorry, my mind is going.
I don't know.
I tend to.
Happy Wednesday.
What do you feel like you have a hard time letting go of?
Honestly, I don't. Probably my children's things. I grew up. My dad threw away everything, so I think I have kind of developed a sense of not having a hard time letting things go. And I lost a lot of stuff too. So if I have to disconnect, I have, but what I do, my rationale is if I want to buy something and I'm going to probably buy more than one thing, I have to give away a couple of things. So that's how I get rid of things. I'll go in my closet and say, okay, I've had you for like 5 years. Do I want to keep you? Can I keep you? Can I keep you? But I tend to give things away to people that I know need it. So that helps me too. And I used to be a heel person. So, oh my gosh, I used to love heels. I used to run in heels. And so I would always have heels and always buy heels. And it got to the point where I was buying heels and it was just sitting in the top of the closet. And I said, okay, I'm not going to buy it unless I'm going to wear it. So I stopped doing that. But it used to be hard for me to give away my heels or get rid of my heels. I would keep heels for so long to just sit. But for the most part, as my children are getting older, it's hard for me to let go of certain little things, certain little shirts or certain little outfits that they've worn and I have memories with. But like with my things, I'll say, okay, so I have a picture of them in this. Somebody else can use this. So that helps me. I might cry later. I'm going to cry later. And I've also done what you did, Pam, like ran in the bag and pull stuff out. So if I don't hurry up and get rid of it, I'll be pulling it back out the bag. Yeah, so I do that too.
Yeah, and I think me and Shay was with, before the podcast started, we were just having conversation, and I was telling her like I have two things. One thing we didn't talk about, but like I have an overabundance of panties that are ridiculous. That I'm like, don't wear majority of them. It's ridiculous. I know. I probably got at least 400 pair of panties. It's ridiculous.
I used to have an obsession with Victoria's Secret. So I could just order them and order them and order them and order them. I have them still in bags. I'm talking about from like seasons ago. And I said, you never know who's going to come to your house, who's going to need panties. That was my rationalization.
Yeah.
But why I feel like I should buy so many of them. I have a whole drawer full of panties I've never worn. Never worn. I won't even wear them.
Oh gosh. Now I got a lot of panties that I've not worn because I've one ass, so it's not like I can go. It's not like I'm gonna be able to wear them all, but literally, I low key now before Jay and I got together. So I will be honest, I hate doing laundry. Like I literally hate doing laundry. I'll fold and put away, and even now I have to be in a mood for it. Jay washes the clothes. I fold and put away. Because I always had so many clothes and undergarments and towels, not so much of everything. I probably washed once every 6 weeks or so. Didn't need to wash every day because I didn't. I was like, well, I got enough clothes. And even if I had to wash anything, it might have been towels, sheets, and just like even with my sheets for my bed, I make sure I have enough. I keep at least 4, 5, 6 sets of sheets for my bed. So I don't have to like pull it, wash it just to put it back on. it can sit there for the month, and then I can wash everything. But that's why I'm just like, I have always had so much stuff. And now I think as I've gotten older, I have been trying my best to like downsize and get rid of stuff that I don't need. And yet I open up my panty drawer all the time, and I still cannot part with all of them. And like you, Cortina, even the ones that's new. Yeah. I got, what does that
I'm
say
gonna
about
need y'all to go. I'm gonna need y'all to go do a couple of photo shoots all day long. Just go switch. Whoop, I wore this. Okay, I wore this. Okay. But like, I understand because maybe it's because you taught always have clean underwear and don't have raggedy underwear, and if you go always I don't know because I like underwear too. I don't have as many as you do, but I do buy and I like underwear, and my kids have a lot because I buy them a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then with my sets, because I have to go specific places or order specifically for my bras, they come with underwear, and I might get a couple of underwear, different like boy shorts, thongs, whatever, to go with the bras. And so, yeah, I have a good amount too. I do too.
You know what? I think that's why I probably don't wear as many, because I have a lot of colorful ones. And back when the girls were smaller and the bras weren't as expensive, it was easier. So I'm one of those, I have to have, if I'm wearing bra and panty, they have to match. I'm obsessive compulsive in that way. So I think now, because I don't have all the bright and vibrant bras, because it's hard to find them in a double D unless they're going to cost me $60-$70, and I'm not paying that. I'm like, well, they just can sit in the back of the drawer, and all the other colorful bras that I have, I can wear the panties for those. So I have it, and which is ridiculous because I have an abundance of black panties. Because black matches everything.
You can never have enough black. Black, nude, browns, tans, all different styles, barely there, so you can't see the line.
Oh, if you got to do all that, I'd just rather not wear panties.
Well, I was just about to say, I you know me, I like to be free anyway. I don't care. But I, depending on where I'm going or what I'm doing, I will go out with no undergarments on. I am okay. Well, one, I don't, but and like I said, it depends on where I'm going, because I'm not going to be sitting on no public transportation if that is something that I need to do. Hell no, you don't know who been there. But if I'm just running to the store, or even if I'm going out, I would never wear anything short and not have something on, because that's just nasty. No judgment to anybody, but you just don't know. And I don't want somebody else's juices on my, it's just no. But depending on the outfit and where I'm going, I'm okay with just free balling and just, I don't have balls, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I'm going to tell you, the best thing ever that ever came out was like the sundress.
Yeah. Yes.
Especially my strapless sundresses. Percent of the time, I'm like, summertime, I'd rather not wear nothing. I'm like, no panties, no bra. I got one outfit on. That's all I get to wash. So it cuts down on everything. So that's why I think that's the other reason why I don't wear a lot. I work from home. Who the hell needs to have panties on at home? I don't, not knocking, like you said, not knocking anybody. If that's your thing, put your drawers on. I so happen to just like, I like to breathe.
Well, and that's why I only have 30. I'm sure it's probably maybe 30, 40 pair of underwear in there, but that's it. No, like I'm real quick. I don't know. The thing, I'm quick to throw underwear away. I'm real quick to throw underwear away because I don't know. It's like the season pass for that. You got to go. Let me get something new. And I like to shop for, like, I love nightwear, even though, it's possibly just on for a short amount of time because I don't like to sleep in anything. But I love silk robes and gowns, and I love to feel pretty when I get out of the shower. I love it. And so that's where my money goes. I love shopping for these items, but when it comes to panties, because I mean, I'm gonna be honest with myself. 90% of the time I'm not wearing underwear. I'm just not. It's not my thing. It's just not my thing. Bras, however, now that I'm bigger and more busty, and I've got to invest a lot of money in my bras. And so it takes a lot, especially when you are top heavy, to find that bra that really works for you. And you got to know that you're going to be spending some money for it as well. So when you figure it out, like you're going to get a couple of those. This one works. Let me get that in red, white, black, nude. Yeah. So bras a little different for me, but underwear, I don't really care about that.
Oh, I can't say I have an obsession now. I think as I've gotten older and I realize I got a whole drawer full. And also in defense, I got a great man who sends me Victoria's Secret panties, even though we live together. It just comes in the mail, and I'm like, oh, new panties to wear. So I'll wear those around the house or something. But for the most part, I'm just like, first of all, let's just be real. It's too fucking hot in the summer to be for all of that. Not unless you're wearing something short or even, what do you call it? A little Daisy Duke shorts. Please put something on. Please put something on. Because you don't want all that jean up in your cooch cotch.
What did you call it?
A cooch cotch.
Cooch cotch.
What is a cooch cotch? For Cortina, the whole vagina. You don't want that. So, because I know she likes to be politically correct, I'll just call it a cooch cotch, though. But no, for a minute there, it was just like, oh, it rolled right out. I don't think I've ever referred to it as a cooch cotch. I don't even know what that really means. But anyway,
it has a definition now.
It does. It definitely has a definition now. The one thing I do want to talk about, which I'm surprised has not come up in, here again, I'm in these different groups and I'm reading the different things. Why do we sometimes hold on to friendships for too long? And I know we attributed a lot of it to like, oh, I've known this person since 3rd grade and 4th grade. And I know this person for 10 years and 15 years. I'm a firm believer that everything has a season, and sometimes those seasons are forever or ongoing. And then there's some that dry up like dead leaves and you have to just like brush them away. So I always just look at some of the stuff that I'm reading. I'm thinking, I think people have a hard time with recognizing when you've grown apart. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like you stagnate your purpose and who you are and what you're supposed to be because you're just holding on to all of this dead energy. But I don't know what you all think about that. So I would love to hear your opinion of like perhaps why people hold on to relationships for too long and not even relationships is in friendships or just relationships to get along, just, go along just to get along.
Sometimes I think it's codependence, right? So you're so codependent on this person. It might not be healthy. It might not be toxic. And it goes along with the same lines why people hold on to intimate relationships that should be over. Sometimes we think that with this person out of our life, 1, what are we going to do? 2, we know the comfortable chaos because we're comfortable with it, because we're used to it, even though it's chaotic. And sometimes we don't know how to appropriately in relationships. I think that's why people hold on to things because they don't know how to end them. I don't know how to tell this person that, you know what? I'm not sure if this friendship is for us anymore. I'm not sure if it's fitting. Maybe we're growing apart. And so some people end up staying and holding on to friendships because they want to avoid the inevitable conversation. So I can't be honest because I'm not feeling it. So it's just easy to stay. And then because you don't want to be bothered sometime, then the other friend thinks that you're acting funny with me and everything like that. Then it becomes an issue. Then because you want to people please and save face and do all these things, y'all reconcile again when you know you really don't want to be the friend and you don't want the friendship. However, again, You don't know how to let it go. And then sometimes when people have lost other people, you have to understand that there's a grieving period that goes along with the loss of any relationship. And so sometimes I want to avoid that. I don't want to feel the void, even though it might be a healthy void. I just don't want to feel that. And so sometimes people hold on for a lot of unhealthy reasons, but they just do. So that's just a few reasons why people continue to hold on.
I just recently unpacked this sense of rejection that has been, I didn't even realize that was there until just recently at 42, I realized that I had a rejection wound and I would hold on and hold space for people out of obligation of the narrative that I created and told myself, although I was probably mishandled, mistreated, whatever, I'm loyal and I'm this and I'm going to, I'm able to love, and love endures all things in all seasons. And so I created this storyline to fit in, and that I was able to identify it came from, childhood trauma. That sense of obligation, wanting to fit in, wanting to be a part, not wanting to be left out, because that's what happened when I was growing up, because I was a biracial child. I grew up around, the girls in my neighborhood were dark skinned. My mom's dark skinned, and my stepdad and my mom were together. So my real dad is nowhere around. And so I'm the oddball out, and these girls, they would come to my house, play with my toys, ride my bike, eat up my snacks, but then they would go huddle up, talk about me, and, do their whole little clique thing and treat me bad, talk about me, pick fights at me, and so this little girl wound was just exposed just here recently. Yeah.
In a child, and not just rejection, but abandonment.
Yes.
Because I don't want to do to them what I don't want done to me. So if I end the friendship, now I'm abandoning them. How are they going to judge me? How are they going to view me? How are they going to see me? And I don't want to be seen in a negative light. So I endure. All the while it's killing us, and it's not healthy, and it's preventing us from being able to grow, because everybody is not meant to be associated or attached to you. And I truly believe that when the wrong people is in your presence and in your company, certain places where you need to go to elevate, you won't be able to get there because of some of the people that are attached to you, because the blessing that's supposed to come on you is not for them. And God knows that if you get it, you're going to share it with them, but it's not for them. So you have to always be in a period of assessment. Am everybody who's with me, if I shake the tree, will these leaves still endure, or will they fall? What's the strength of this relationship? And I don't care if you knew somebody for 2 days or 20 years. The person who you've known for 2 days may have better intentions for you than the person you've known for 20 years. So not being afraid to say, you know what? This is the gift of goodbye. This person no longer fits this space as it relates to this version of me, because we are growing, we are evolving. And if you have, and I'm not saying, just throw your friends away. No, but if they're not good for you, if you all have grown, if you're in different seasons and spaces in your life, I might have to reprioritize what category of friend you are. You may not be my confidant if you are not a married individual and I want to come to you to talk to you about married stuff, right? So when we were single, we could talk about all the going out stuff and everything. I'm in a different season in my life. How I converse with you or have a conversation with you might be very different in this season than it did in the previous season. And so we have to be okay with arranging and assessing at least yearly. Okay, who's in my circle? Who's in my tribe? Who can I talk to? Because there are going to be seasons where your closest friends, they're not emotionally available to you because they have their own stuff going on. That doesn't mean I throw you away. That doesn't mean you throw me away. It just means that we're adjusting to the ebbs and flows of life when life happens.
Yeah. But I think the other thing, I love the point you made about assessing. I think people don't really stop consistently to assess themselves. You don't check. You might be that toxic friend. You might be that broken friend. You might be that problematic friend. And so I think that's why sometimes when you learn how to assess yourself, you learn how to assess your company that you're keeping. I look back and I always say to myself, am I growing the way that I want to? And if so, who is around me that I can look to help elevate me, that's supporting me, that's like, you can do it, that I can be raw and transparent and honest. And I do know that people I've here again, I'm in these groups and, and I'm hearing people say, well, we've been friends for 15 years and I don't know why this person is doing this to me. This shit don't just start happening. I think we're oblivious to when things happen because we're not self-aware. When you are self-aware, you constantly know what's going on around you. And at least that's how I feel. I think when you live in a very authentic space, and authenticity takes daily work. It really do. It takes daily work. It takes weekly work. It takes consistently understanding your position and choosing you first and saying, what am I getting from it? But what am I giving back? Because energy is reciprocal. It's like you give it out, you boomerang that shit out there. Yeah. It's gonna come back to you. How is it coming back to you? So that's the assessment that sometimes you have to make, is to do those self-evaluations and then start looking at your circle, because if you're not growing, who around you is not growing?
You also can't be a friend of entitlement, because you can't expect what you can't give. You want loyalty, mutual respect, honesty, vulnerability. You are expecting all of these things, but if you cannot give them, you have to be mindful of that as well, because that's going to be an unequal relationship and it's not going to feel like the relationship is reciprocal. So and it doesn't mean you give it in the same way.
Oh, right?
There might be people who's always available via phone. Everybody in my circle know Cortina is not going to answer the phone. Not because I don't want to. It's on do not disturb. I don't have it. I don't see it, whatever. But it's
not going to say that. You might
be there.
Sometimes I think you will answer phones and you will answer texts. I don't know how you just got this sixth sense about you. Because if you have to show up, you're showing up.
Show up.
But I also think when I say reciprocal and I'm saying energy, energy is not things that you do. Things are always showing up. It's energy is understanding. It is patience. It is understanding that people do have lives. And just because I can't show up for you at this moment does not mean that I will not show up for you when I can. But also understand that if you know, because if you watch how somebody moves and some people just disappear, or somebody just like you know your friend by the energy that they give, you kind of give them grace. So reciprocal energy is an energy of understanding. I don't mean reciprocal and like you better give me what I give you. No, that is.
But a lot of people don't get that.
Yeah,
they don't understand that.
Exactly. And so I think I really did not learn how to be a friend until, I'm trying to like a friend. I probably would have to say in my latter 20s. Early 30s. And I was actually shown how to be a friend. And I still, when I can elevate, shout out Kim Nelson, when I can elevate to that level of friendship, I'm going to be unstoppable. Here is one woman who I swear, which is odd because physically we've never met. We've been internet friends. We talk on the phone and we text almost every day since like 2004. And it just hadn't worked out for us to actually physically connect. But there's nothing that she doesn't know about me. I can tell her I have a doctor's appointment 2 months from now. I don't have to remind her. And I forget my own goddamn appointments. And she would say, how'd your appointment go? I'm thinking, what? How the hell do you remember these things? But when you're intentional about your relationships, you don't forget. So ever since then, she really taught me how to, if you're going to give, make time, be consciously and be intentional about showing up. And she showed me what it looks like to show up. And so for me, I've learned to be able to have, what do you call it? I I was responsible relationships.
Yes.
I'm responsible for me, and I allow that person to be responsible for them. But that a level of grace is always extended out. I mean, I don't know a better way to say it, because when I say she really taught me how to just like, hey, it's got to be what it, it's got to be this way or that way or no way at all. It's like, who hurt you?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been the type of person, and my mom would tell you, I've always been the type of person. I have rolling friends. I've never took stock in somebody sticking around. I never really cared. I think I always had my sisters. I had my mom. So having those relationships really didn't matter. I understood that people come and people go. And as I got older and I wanted to establish those relationships, because I moved away from home, because I've lived far away, certain community I really needed. And I've been hurt by friends and all of that. But one thing I would have to say is now I like that I can be my authentic self. So my friends can come and go. And if anybody had something to say about Pam outside of me to talk, I guess, mess or whatever they wanted to, by all means, go ahead. Because I live so authentically, I'm never going to do anything that I'm ashamed of.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you can live in that space, I do feel like, you can't hang out with everybody who wants to just put your business out there, because there are some conversations that are safe, or there should be safe spaces. Or if you just want to have a good time and let your hair down, let me do that. Let me do that. But like I said, I think overall, learning how to become a friend, because we're not really taught how to be friends when we're young. We're taught to share. We're taught to have our boundaries broken, because we have to be friends. We have to play with. We have to give up things. We have to share, as opposed to learning boundaries much later on. That's my.
That was really hard for me as far as friendships, and because I moved a lot growing up. And so I would have friends, and then we moved, so I lost friends. And so when we finally became stable, I wanted to make sure that the friends I did get or meet were just stay. They were here. They were my friends. We're going to be best friends, or, I'm there for them. I'm going to make sure they're good. But last week, Sunday, actually, I was over one of my friend's house that I've known since I was 15. And I was helping her do some things. And I was just sitting here like, why am I here? Or should I be here? Am I stopping her from learning? Am I in the way of her lessons, her life lessons that she should be, learning, because I'm always running to her rescue? Am I, and I'm just standing there helping her. And I'm just like, I really don't know if I'm supposed to be here, and she also stresses me out. So I laugh because she really does stress me out. And I've told her that because, she's older than me, but it's like she seems, the way she acts or the way she does things, it feels like I'm her mom sometimes.
Oh.
And so that's one relationship I have been reevaluating. And just like Cortina said, it may not necessarily be you got to toss them to the wind, but it may just be, look, you're gonna have to be over here. I can't deal with you in the capacity that I've always dealt with you, because eventually I'm gonna knock you out. You're getting on my nerves. That's a joke. But it's getting to the point where I'm starting to stress dealing with her. And even with even with family members, those type of relationships, I felt myself pulling away some, because some people, no matter how much you do or how much you pour into them love, or you're just there, it's just not enough. And so sometimes you just have to pull back and understand that you need to just let it go and deal with you. Because there are things like the codependency. I don't know if it's a codependency thing with me, but it may be, you just never know, maybe I'm just used to taking care of people. And if I don't take care of them, do I feel useful or do I feel important? So I've
That's
just been doing a
codependent.
lot of evaluation.
That's codependence, needing to be
Yeah,
needed.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
without someone needing me, who am I? That's the role that I
Yeah.
play, right? And so you're depending on that person needing you. A lot of people only think codependence is the opposite of independence, which it is not.
No, yeah, yeah.
And so when you are playing the role of caretaker for everybody, and it's like, oh, okay, I have to do this, or they're not going to do this. You're so busy focusing on everybody else that you're not even pouring that same energy into you. Why is that necessary for you to do? Because some people believe that if I'm doing all these things for these people, they won't leave me. So it's the fear of, again, abandonment and being alone.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go deeper and ask yourself, why do I feel the need to rescue? Why do I feel the need to be everything to everybody? Why do I feel the need to always say yes to being there, going there,
Oh,
up, doing this? Why do I always feel the need to be in the middle? And so these are very different scenarios, but they all revert back to the same thing.
yeah, and I've done that, which is why I realized that I have to go because it was abandonment issues and it was feeling neglected. And I went way back to childhood. And so I think that's why I'm able to see now what I'm doing and how the relationship is going with her and other people, because I have always been the caregiver since a little girl and wasn't receiving care or receiving, enough care because of what was going on with my parents. So I've learned this year has really been a lot of inner work and crying and revelation for me. So that's why I'm in there helping her. I'm like, what am I doing here? She needs to. So it's been a lot, and that has really come up in me. And I'm like, yeah, girl. Nope.
What's the opposite of codependence?
Say it again.
What's the opposite of codependence? That's bad. I mean, I'm legit question.
Healthy.
No, it's not independence. I'm just saying, like, what's the opposite of codependence?
Interdependent.
Balance. Healthy.
It might be too balanced then, because I don't be giving a fuck who walk away.
Well, I mean, that I would say that's a defense mechanism, right? Because you want to make sure it's not that I just say I don't care, right? It might not mean, but I'm okay. It's okay to put you first, right? Because you want to put your own well-being first.
It's not even.
It's like you got a problem, bye, bitch. I don't care. Like, God damn, we can't. We wait. There's no conversation there. We don't.
We're not gonna talk about it.
Like,
go to hell. Like what? Right.
But it's like,
so I mean, I get that, but I think that's what I'm saying. Like, my tolerance level for having to have grown people conversation about how to be adult about things is here, and my patience is here. I'm very vocal. I will express how I feel, and I've had people say, "Well, damn, you're being mean." If I'm speaking up for myself because I don't like the way you talk to me, I'm going to handle that right there. But I said, because I really believe that you allow people to treat you how you want to be treated, and they show you who they really are. If you allow that, it will continue. So I have to stand up for me, and if you don't like it, it might not always come out as tactful, especially when I'm in the moment. But I'm also adult enough to go back and be like, hey, but I don't like people who say things that are disrespectful and then play victim. I don't do those things. I don't have the bandwidth for that. I have too much going on in my life, and I'm like, and I also don't use the word friend loosely. And I have a lot of really great friends. I think because I've gotten older, I understand what the meaning of friendship is. So I extend being a real friend. And that real friend does come with conversation, but I don't tolerate mediocrity. I don't tolerate disrespect. And if I'm trying to talk to you and that's what I'm going to get, that's when it's bye, bitch. I don't really have. I'm just saying what you say. I'm like,
I know what you mean.
No substance.
I don't have the bandwidth for that. That's because it's not mine to carry. I spent my 20s worrying about how other people felt about me and feeling like, I'm present, but I'm absent. Just to be a
Just
part
as
of
you
something.
got a friend.
I'm like, no, I'm not doing that, because that's when, and I also was living in a very toxic space when I was like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can go out by myself. I can go out with people. And even when people say, or I extend an invitation, I don't necessarily need to hear, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm not gonna, it's an extension of an invitation. It's really a courtesy. If you can't make it, okay. Especially when it's the day of and you know that I'm going to be busy and I'm hosting an event. Don't call me saying you can't make it. I really don't care. And that's just being the friend and knowing that things come up, people get sick, blah, blah, blah. You show up, you do, hooray, we celebrate together. But if not, it's no hard feelings for me.
But I also think that's people's way of communicating too, to let you know, at least be courteous to let you know, because sometimes people, they give what they wish people would have done to them, which is consideration. So
but it's not healthy when it's lies. It's not healthy when it's lies.
Oh, well, I ain't talking about lies. I'm talking about truth.
This is why I don't take stock. And when people say stuff, I'm like, I take things for what they are. But you know what? The worst thing you could do is say something and be completely opposite in how you show up on social media.
Well, that's different. That's a whole different, that's a different context. But one of the things I don't like possessive friends. You can't have, God damn, can I go over here with my other friend? Like, I can't deal with that, because I might joke around and stuff, but everybody got their own friend groups. They got their own relationships with people. And if you hovering over me like Big Brother and then doing passive aggressive stuff like, oh, I see you over there with your other little friends. Oh, no, we
grown.
Not doing that.
We grown. We so grown.
We know. I don't.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because of the only child in me. I don't give a damn. I'm not going to be looking at who you connected with. Hey, long as everybody having a good, great goddamn time, because everybody friend groups don't mesh. So I don't expect to be invited to every single thing. And I hope you don't expect it to be invited to every single thing, because sometimes I'm invited. Shit, I can't invite somebody else too. And then you getting mad. Thompson, oh, well, it would have been nice to be invited. Would you like for us to go? You can plan it and we can go to the same place too, And so I that just burns my gears. I was in a friendship for years. I'm talking, when I tell my road dog, ride or die, but it was so much pressure in that relationship. I hated if I missed a call. I know you see me call. Now I'm about to get a text. I know you see me. You would have thought we were lesbians. I'm not even lying. Like, you would have thought we were sleeping together or something. It was so enmeshed, the relationship. And when I ended that friendship, I said, I will never, ever in my life be so controlled by the view or the perception that a person has, that I'm denying stuff that I want to do for the feelings of this other person. Like, that was crazy. That was absolutely an anxiety, or they're not going to approve of this. I said, oh, heck, I cannot. I cannot. If you cannot respect me, if you cannot, just be considerate and mindful, I can't. I can't.
I just recently had to, I had to learn how important it was to not expect me from other people. I am only responsible for myself. I cannot have an expectation of anybody else. But what I am an intentional person. And and another thing that came along with that, being able to learn and identify what my own independent love languages were, so that I can teach people how to treat me and create boundaries that I myself don't even cross. So you don't have permission to cross them. So, it's an inward work in any relationship. It don't matter, friendship, sisterhood, with your mama, whatever. It's an inner work. You have to be able to identify what your love languages are, what your boundaries will be, what they need to be, and don't give yourself permission to cross them, because the moment you do, then other people think it's cool to come in and you be like, whoa, hold on. Well, I saw you let so-and-so do. Okay, wait a minute. First and foremost, this ain't that, okay? So, so stop. again, not expecting me from other people, but then just abiding in grace, because all of the hoopla that comes along with that. Listen, if you call me, if I can't answer, I'm going to respond. That's who I am. My love language is communication. I communicate, and communication is enough for me. Just know, if you call me, if you need to talk to me, or you need me beyond the text message, all you got to do is let me know. And I'm going to try my best to be where I need to be when I need to be there. But that's me. I only have control of me. That's it. That's it. That's all. And I care. Like, I care. I do care. But I care because, number one, you got that little girl that experienced that abandonment, that rejection, but I'm also the only child. I'm an only child. And so I've always wanted sisterhood. I've always wanted good girlfriends, friendships that had substance. That word substance means everything to me, because where I need to be sharpened, I need people to love me enough to say, girl, if you don't get your tail out the street and get over here and get yourself back together, I desire to have somebody that cares enough to sharpen me and, hey, say, tighten up, because this ain't that you playing. No, you done went too far. Come on back over here, But that's my love language. Come get me. Come see about me. See about me. If you see me, see about me.
Oh, I totally agree. And I
They
think
said, jack her up.
that's
She ain't playing.
but
I feel that way too.
accountability. And when you have friends, they hold you accountable of when you get out of order. It's like, okay, bitch, you really what?
What are you doing?
Yeah, I know you're not out here acting like that, But like I said, I think you evolve as you get older. I think as I've gotten older, you become a better friend. But you're also understanding that your friends have lives.
Yeah.
And so that you don't necessarily have to see each other every day, speak to each other every day. It can be months go by, but you're able to just pick up where you left off. Those are the kind of friendships that, I like. I also like my friends who know what a calendar means. It's like, put me on your calendar, girl, because I need you here. And instead of taking offense when I say, well, let me check my calendar, it be genuine. I've offended people and they were like, oh, so you got to check your calendar? I absolutely do. I have a lot of stuff going on. And I've always been like that. I've always been into something, doing something, where I'm going to be gone. I've always loved traveling. So, good luck catching me if you can. Whether I'm just driving a few hours away or driving far to another state. I mean, I'm not always present. So like even here, I want to have time with so many of the people that I know here, acquaintances and even some friendships. And it's hard because it's always me. And they're like, oh, I'm available in this time. I'm like, I'm not here. I get invited to a lot of things that I can't make. But that's okay. I'll make next year's. Yeah. And I'm gonna paint and I'm gonna do all those wonderful things that I didn't get a chance to do. So, just saying.
You know what I love though? This is what I love, because here's the thing. I know we desire to have intimate time, in-person time with our friends, but technology has changed and it has allowed us the opportunity to be able to do just what we're doing right here. Get on a video call. Hey, just because I'm over here, hey, let's have lunch together via FaceTime. I do it all the time because I've got family members and I've got girlfriends that are in different states. And I'm like, hey, all right, Saturday, let's have breakfast together, FaceTime, via FaceTime. And we sit on FaceTime and we have our breakfast and our coffee and our tea, and we have and that's what we do.
I did that during COVID. I had what is called Coffees with Coworkers. I opened up a Zoom portal for people, and I kept it open from 9 to 11, where people, if they, because a lot of people was working from home, and then, it was like very different, especially I have a lot of single friends. And I had opened up a portal, and for 2 hours, I would just sit there and work. And if people wanted to come online, we can have conversation and we can work. And sometimes it was just nice not knowing that you was by yourself while you were working. Yeah. So it was kind of nice to have. So we're at the top of the hour. Let's start with you, Louisa. Where can everybody find you at? Because I think you have to leave, right?
Not today.
Oh, okay.
We're supposed, but it was canceled. But anyway, I am Louisa. What's my name? Louisa Real. Y'all, I'm in Phoenix. I mean, I'm in Tempe right now.
You're in where?
And so I'm in Arizona.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm at a work session for Thriving Families, Safe for Children, Child and Family Services. And that's why I was laughing about the calendar, because I have become a calendar girl. For the past year, I have been a calendar girl. I've been traveling in conferences and doing work sessions. So I'm in a work session. So my mind is like, I'm still in DC time, but I'm here in Arizona time, which is 3 hours behind. So I don't even know who I am. But
I knew it was something light for you. I was like, damn, it looked like you just got a light on, but it must be the outside.
no, it's this light on the table, but it is a light. I'll show y'all the view when we get off. But you can find me at the Blue Phoenix Hills everywhere. And if you guys are in DC this Saturday, we have an adult Halloween party at 55 M Street Northeast from 7 p.m. to midnight. So come on down. It's $25 tickets. We have a giveaway for the best costume, $100 giveaway. So come on down if you have time.
okay.
I didn't plan on dressing up this year, but I'll never know. Oh, girl, Halloween is like my favorite time of the year where I could just dress up, and it's not like I'm not big on celebrating, but my neighborhood, it's just different. All the lights be out, I have scary music going. Our street, just the bottom of our street be like dark. And so cars be kind of leery coming by. My neighbors be sliding machetes across the ground. We do the most. We definitely do the most. Shay, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me at www.thecoachofcourage.com and on Instagram, The Coach of Courage.
Okay. And Dr. Lewis.
Yes, you can find me at The Girlfriend Therapist on all social media platforms, at the Noir, NOIR Center, and Sex Unveiled, SEXD Unveiled.
All right, and you can find me on all social media platforms at IAMDRPGURLEY. I am Dr. P. Gurley. I had to show this. This was last year. Yeah, I know. I'll be out here doing the most.
Wow.
I know. I'm telling you, I love dressing up for Halloween, and Jay's not really big on it, but every so often I can get him to dress up. I'm gonna have to share one of my favorite ones with y'all after we're offline. But anybody have any last minute things that they would like to add to the conversation about why do we hold on to things?
Identify the root. Give yourself permission to go deep and identify the root.
And give yourself permission to let go of things. Like I'm talking all things. Old towels, old shoes, new shoes that you hadn't worn in years, dresses that you hadn't worn in 6 years since birth. Oh, something's going on out here. Uh-oh. Yeah, you would think I'm in the city. I'm in the suburbs. Anyhow, we will be back here next week. I need to check the dates because, see, my birthday's coming up. So the podcast does fall on my birthday, so next week must be the 1st. So you'll find us here at the same time, same place. I know there was some glitches, not for us, but with the StreamYard platform, with it streaming to Facebook. However, I did make sure and push it out so that way you can get the YouTube link. You can always go back and look at past episodes, and don't forget to subscribe. We will see you next week. Same time, same place. Cheers.
Cheers.
This